Hello everyone. We are going to do another video lecture today. Just like when I'm in class, you will be taking notes and you will listen for when I say things multiple times. Just a reminder, if you feel like the lecture is going too fast, ask for the lecture to be paused so that you can make sure you get all of the notes taken down. Let's get started. As usual, we are going to go over the big idea and the main ideas. So first of all, the big idea is that over time, the Persians came to rule a great empire, which eventually brought them into conflict with the Greeks. The main ideas are Persia became an empire under Cyrus the Great. The Persian Empire grew stronger under Darius I. And finally, the Persians fought Greece twice in the Persian Wars. Now I want you to pause the video, have someone read the "if you were there." Then you are going to discuss with your shoulder partner the question that is underneath the "if you were there," which is whose advice would you take and why? After you have accomplished this task, you can restart the video. So now we're going to move into main idea 1. Persia became an empire under Cyrus the Great. During this time, Athens was becoming a democracy, but the Persians were growing their empire. How did the Persian nation begin? Well, first they were unorganized and nomadic, but then strong leaders helped them to become one of the mightiest empires in the ancient world. Early in the Persian history, they fought with other nations, and eventually they fought with the Medes, and they were defeated. Then we get to Cyrus the Great. In 550 BC, Cyrus II, who eventually will become Cyrus the Great, led a revolt against the Medes and got them independence. Cyrus the Great won independence for Persia from the Medes, creating the Persian Empire. Cyrus the Great won independence for Persia from the Medes, making this the beginning of the Persian Empire. One more time, because it's important. Cyrus the Great won independence for Persia from the Medes, marking the beginning of the Persian Empire. Once Cyrus became emperor, he conquered many other people. I want you to take a moment and look at the map on page 261, and you will see just how massive the Persian Empire was. It stretched from Southwest Asia all the way over to Asia Minor, which is where Turkey is today. And in Asia Minor, it included several Greek cities and Mesopotamia. Yes, the same Mesopotamia that we have been talking about since the beginning of the school year. The cool thing about Cyrus, though, was that when he conquered people, he let them keep their own customs. And this is important because it kept them from rebelling against him. When Cyrus conquered people, he let them keep their customs, and this kept people from rebelling against his strong empire. One more time with these 2 bullet points, and then I have some cool facts about Cyrus the Great that goes with our biblical history. Cyrus conquered many people, but let them keep their own customs. This kept people from rebelling against his strong empire. So Cyrus the Great is actually in the Bible. You can find him mentioned in the book of Ezra and in the book of 2nd Chronicles. He was responsible for letting the Jews go back to Jerusalem and start rebuilding the city. after Jerusalem had been conquered by Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians. We will talk more about how this time period that we're talking about matches up with events in the Bible on our final slide for this section. Let's keep going. We're going to spend a few minutes talking about the Persian army. The reason why Cyrus was able to be so successful is because his army was strong. And the army was strong because it was well organized and loyal. This army was strong because it was well organized and loyal. This army was strong because it was well organized and loyal. The key to the Persian army was a group of people called the Immortals. And the Immortals were 10,000 soldiers who had been chosen specifically for their bravery and their skill. But the Immortals weren't the only people who were important to the Persian army. Another portion of the army that was important was the cavalry. And a cavalry is a unit of soldiers who ride horses. A cavalry is a unit of soldiers who ride horses. One more time. A cavalry is a unit of soldiers who ride on horses. So the way that the Persians used the cavalry was Cyrus would have the cavalry charge at and shoot the enemy with arrows. And this weakened the enemy so that when the Immortals attacked, they were able to be immortal and defeat the enemy. Together, these two components, the Immortals and the cavalry, were able to conquer and defeat just about any enemy. That is all that we are covering for lecture today. The video will go through and show you quickly all of the other slides, but you do not need to copy anything else down. This is the end of what you need to copy. I will see you next class.